Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this episode, I want to show you how I like to retrieve one of my favorite fall baits, especially when you're dealing with shallow, dirty water, fishing around cover, whether it's docks, laydowns, whatever it is. A swim jig is one of my absolute favorites. Very versatile bait. Let me put the power poles down real quick. Very versatile bait, and one of the best things is you can fish it in cover very, very well. So, and it allows you to cover a lot of water too. But anyways, yeah, so we're just gonna show you kind of basically how I fish the swim jig during this time of year. There's other parts of the year I may vary the retrieve a little bit, and I've done videos in the past on like all the different retrieves that I use with the swim jig, but this one's gonna be more focused on fall. And fall fishing is all about trying to imitate shad. Bass are hyper focused on eating shad this time of year. Yeah, they'll still eat bluegill and crawfish and all the other stuff, little, frogs and stuff. Anything. Anything they can fit in their mouth, they will eat. But shad are the primary forage species. So the bait that I'm going to be throwing today is the Core Tackle Swim Jig in white and chartreuse, and I've got my secret weapon, my favorite swim jig trailer. This is the Turbo Fatties that I helped design for Z-Man, that I cut down to size for this. So, and all the products that I talk about today that I'm using will be in the description below. So let's get started. I don't know if I'm going to catch any fish. It really hasn't been a great swim jig day, so no expectations, but I'm going to show you exactly how I fish it. All right, so the very first thing that is super important when it comes to fishing a swim jig is just kind of understanding, what's going on in the fall. Again, the fish are focused on shad, and so you want to imitate the shad, but you don't want, it's not just about, the color and profile of your bait. It has a lot to do with the way that you retrieve it. This time of year, the fish have so many options. The backs of these are absolutely full of shad. So they've got a ton of shad swimming by them all day long. So you don't want to just, retrieve your bait in a consistent manner. Most times, I really like to make sure that I add some action to my swim jig. And I do that a couple of different ways, but the primary way is actually just adding the action through the reel handle. So for instance, I'll cast it out. A nice floating dock is perfect, and I just start reeling, but I stop the retrieve, just intermittently, all right? And just adding erratic action, just short little pauses, that is all you need. Because if you were just to retrieve this swim jig slowly back to the boat, I just don't think that this time of year, with the fish seeing this much bait in general, that fish is going to react to that bait. Okay, you need to trigger a strike, and bass really do look for the weak link in a school of shad, something that is acting erratically, almost like it's injured. That is kind of the big key. So I like to add action through the reel handle personally. Okay, but another way that you can add action is through the rod tip. So you can essentially do the same thing, just straight retrieve and just pop the rod tip every once in a while. The reason I kind of like doing it through the reel handle is, number one, I just get a ton of bites doing that, but also I feel like I'm at the ready a little bit better to set the hook when a fish eats it. And by pausing it, if a fish is following the bait, and they're moving quickly behind the bait. When you pause it, it kind of stops right in front of their face, and they kind of almost run into it. So I feel like that gets a lot of strikes that way. All right, but you can do either or. But the biggest key when it comes to retrieving your swim jig is adding some type of erratic action to the bait this time of year, especially. So, anyways, guys, just figured I'd go ahead and show you how I like to retrieve my swim jig. I generally like to fish it pretty fast. I mean, this is not something, again, I gotta put the power poles down. I don't wanna drift into somebody's dock. But this is not a time of year where I want to slow roll my baits. I like fast moving baits. You gotta get these fish to flip that switch. and trigger, strike that bait. Has to be something that is different, that looks like it's running away but also injured. Okay, so anyways guys, take it for what it's worth. That's how I like to fish my swim jigs. Again, we've got all the products that I used in this video in the description below. Also, I want to point out, got that great promotion with BassboatElectronics.com that if you buy the HDS 10 Pro with the HD 3-in-1 transducer using the link below in the description, you not only get a free hoodie, but also get a special bonus gift from BassboatElectronics.com of a free Active Target 2 system. That's right, both the transducer and the black box, a full system, totally a free gift from BBE. So use that link. What you're going to have to do is put all three of those things in your cart, and the hoodie and the Active Target 2 system should show up for free. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to see you out on the water. Trust the process.